My headphones are up too loud. Ouch. I hit that music button. I'm like, wow, are you awake yet? Well, good day, everybody, and good morning if you're catching this in the morning. I'm Thomas Miller on the Fun Astrology Podcast. You can hear me, but I can't hear you. In fact, I can't hear anything right at this moment. Wow, that was a wake-up slap. I know what it is now. I sold a couple of my classic microphones yesterday. Just figured it was time. I wasn't using them. I've got this little system that works great now, and so I just moved them on out. And before I took them to be shipped, I checked them one more time, and they require a lot of volume, a lot of oomph. So that's why I had my little volume turned up, and I didn't turn it back down. More than you wanted to know. Hey, let's talk about, you know what that is? That is exactly why I am so ready, and I know you are too, for 4:21 and 0 seconds this afternoon, Eastern Time, for Mercury to, gosh dang it, turn direct again. I was talking to my brother the other day, and he doesn't follow this, but that's fine. And I just mentioned he's same conversation, like crazy stuff happening to him at work with computers and stuff. His wife had a problem, spilled some hot stuff on her and had some burns, had to go. Like, it's just endless. This Mercury retrograde has been like nothing that I think I can remember, seriously. Because, normally it's like, yeah, Mercury retrograde. But no, this one is like, hey, 4:21 today, goodbye. Come on now, you can do it. Na, 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 na. Mercury, goodbye. That's what my brother said. I'm so ready for this to shift, whatever it is. And what I realized, because all this stuff kept happening, that was just like I kind of went into the shore-up mode. I did sell those microphones, but I just kind of like, I'm going to keep it really close, really safe, throttle back, not push it, because Mercury is as strong as it will ever be. And of course, yesterday we were sitting it on top of a new moon. And you know what was so funny? On Twitter, I don't call it X, it's Twitter. On Twitter, I saw this two posts about the new moon yesterday. One was how cataclysmic things are going to be after this new moon, and it's going to usher in this, the trip domino of the eclipses, and everything is going to shift, and there's going to be all this. And then this other guy, who is a very well-known astrologer out of England, said that it was an auspicious new moon, just like I did. So it's how you look at it, right? It's absolutely how you look at it. Two good astrologers looking at the same chart see it with different eyes. Well, let's look at the rest of today's chart, because at 1:44 this afternoon, of course, all times Eastern, the moon enters Libra, and that carries you all the way through the weekend. You don't have another moon change until Monday. That will be just about midnight Eastern, and that will be a Scorpio moon then to start next week. And then yesterday I promised we have a direct aspect. Ding, ding, ding. One was seen heading east out of Kansas, 9:23 p.m., the sun trines Uranus in retrograde. In fact, this is what the lady was saying was the catastrophic event. It's this grand trine because Uranus, Pluto, and the sun, and yesterday the moon, exactly, are in a grand trine. And that's what she was saying, is this is going to be catastrophic. But what did we say yesterday? Hey, moon, bring us some wonderful surprise of money or love. And Pluto's here, make it big. But, I guess you could see, if you were looking at the coin has two sides, and if you were looking at that other side, you could see that at least in this trine aspect that these three are working together, tying the macro theme in. In the readings these past couple of weeks, I've seen twice this week. One was in a reading, and then one was yesterday at a little store in Asheville. But the double-barreled theme is that things are tightening up economically. And we do have this square coming up. In fact, that's the other one for Sunday. It will happen early Sunday morning, 2:09 a.m. Eastern, that the two Benefics go exactly square, Venus and Jupiter. And that is a direct money issue because Jupiter is in Venus's sign of Taurus. In fact, this grand trine is really a kite because Uranus and Pluto point up by sextile to Neptune. And Neptune, not quite exactly, but about 4 degrees off, is in opposition to the sun and to where the sun and the moon were together for yesterday's new moon. So the wonderful young lady, oh, she was such a delight to talk to. Young, 21. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. But she had lost 2 of her business accounts this week or recently. And yeah, that could definitely have been ahead of that square of Venus and Jupiter. And then let's not forget the yod that we've been talking about. That one has the south node at the top and then Uranus and Neptune at the base. Now, we're going to talk about how to tie all this together over the weekend, but there is one other thing that I had to peek ahead, and it's not in today's or the weekend's configuration, but on Tuesday of next week is the day that Pluto hits 27 degrees Capricorn again. That is the degree that Pluto was in at the time of the United States Declaration of Independence signing, July 4th, 1776, and is known as the Sibley chart, and that is the Pluto return degree that Pluto reaches again for the 4th time since last year. And it will stay at 27 degrees until it turns retrograde October 10th, and it will still be at 27 degrees when the annular solar eclipse covers the western half of the United States, October 14th. And that's how our astrologer friend on Twitter was reading into this, the negativity that she was. All right, what do we do with this? That was a lot. You might have to go back and listen through that again. That was picking this thing really apart. But that's what's there. Does have a money theme to it. Remember that in the United States chart, that Pluto is in the money house. And this aspect this weekend has a big, very positive, I think, dominating configuration, and that is the Kite, the grand trine, and adding Neptune in to make the Kite formation. I think it is very powerful. So there is uncertainty. I did this dual episode interview with Fred Dodson. The Parallel Universes of Self episode is out on Subconscious Mind Mastery. The Clearing Entities will be released next week. And in that Parallel Universes interview that's out, Fred said that these are uncertain times, but it's the uncertainty that Fred was saying that's the fun of it, because Fred is a conscious creator. Fred went through a challenge. He was living very nicely and comfortably and delightedly in New Zealand. Thought that was it. Didn't think he would ever live anyplace else. Fred is a true blue Aquarian, though. Don't tell me what to do. And they started to. Little too much, and he left. It's in the Subconscious podcast in January of 2022, the story. And it got a little dicey for him, but he just surfed it as a creator. So we could benefit from this. Number 1, he was awake. Number 2, he knew what his boundaries were. He knew when something crossed a line, that was going to be it. It was time for action. Then, when he took the action, he just stayed in the creating mode and followed the synchronicities. And because he was standing in high ground, he was led to what he wanted. And a couple of months later, after the little transition phase there, he was happily playing tennis under the sunshine again, and life was good. So I'm sorry to take a little extra here, but this is a complicated chart. And in looking at it here, I think it is worth this extra time just to say there are 2 sides and 2 ways to look at this. You can look at it shadowy, and you can get all caught up in that side, and then you will not be able to pull the creative, high timeline, high vibe, high consciousness trigger. You'll be stuck in the muddled of the conversation that the other person was trying to have of, oh, if things are so bad, and then you just freeze up and you sit there. So this chart tells us to focus on the positive side. And that would be the conclusion for this weekend, is to take all of the stuff that's going on, control what you can, ask for a nice, big, pleasant money surprise, make it a happy one, make it a big one, make it a nice one. I know, Venus, you behave yourself in that square with Jupiter. And then we'll just enjoy some big, happy, wonderful money surprises, right? But staying conscious, that's the focus here. And I think that's why Neptune is at the top of that kite, is to remind us to stay clear thinking. Don't get cloudy. Don't get foggy. That's the message here. And then there's plenty of positive support for us if we choose to look for it. All right. You guys have a wonderful, blessed weekend. Back with Merriman tomorrow. Level up on our YouTube channel and Facebook group on Sunday night. And then we'll kick off the new week with that Scorpio moon on Monday. You guys have a good one. I love you. Mwah!